What's up, YouTube? PokePrimer here, primed and ready to deliver you a draft analysis for another new draft league here on the channel. I know, guys, I keep adding new ones. I know. Trust me, the load is going to be lifted once some of these start ending. I'm just going to start cutting them off as they end. So we're going to keep ourselves to probably a maximum of like 5 leagues at the very most at any one time. So just no worries. This isn't going to be too crazy of a thing, and this is not going to keep happening. I promise. I absolutely promise. But today we have a very special draft league to announce. We are a part of the aDrive Army Battle League, which is a draft league run by aDrive. If you don't know who aDrive is, you're under some kind of rock. He's one of the most prominent shiny hunters in the game right now. He's one of the most prominent draft league content creators in the Pokemon community right now. If you don't know who aDrive is, look him up on YouTube. He's a phenomenal content creator. You will enjoy your time there, 100%. But he's hosting a draft league for his subscribers, his Twitch subscribers, on his Discord server. So I applied to get in, and I got into one of the 3 different leagues that are being hosted under it. The Blue League, which you can see with that dope Cascade Badge logo right there, which is super awesome. Love it. But yeah, so we're going to be going over the draft that we have today, but I am not here alone. This time around, trying to, spread my love of Pokemon, spread my love of draft league content to my friends. My good buddy, Jarret, who is also a huge aDrive, he's a big aDrive fan, he's a big draft league fan, he loves Pokemon. He kind of wanted to get into draft leagues, and he figured what better way to do so than to hop in with his buddy and be kind of like my front office. So he kind of helped me form the draft. He's going to be helping me with team building and stuff like that throughout the season. So, Jarret, how about you say hi to the fans?
Hi. Yeah, my name's Jarret. If you are watching this from, and you're a fan of Dan's on his Twitch, I go by the Czar. I actually, it's funny because I gifted Jeff a sub because Dan has the Primeape as his Twitch Prime emote. So I was like, oh, and I showed Jeff that one day. He's like, dude, I love that and everything. I was like, okay, so I'm gonna gift him a sub so he could use it. And so that's actually like how he got like involved with this. I'm like, dude, I hooked you up, you hooked me up. Help me start getting into draft leagues and stuff. So yeah, we past almost week we've been just drafting this team, and it was there's a lot of texts, a lot of really feeling good, a lot of angry texts waking up to saying we just got freaking sniped twice in the last 4 picks, but we'll get to that.
Oh yeah, we will get there. This draft was a long and stressful process, but we finally made it through, and I'm really liking the team that we scooped up. And to get into it, our first pick, which is actually a pick that Jarret had suggested for our team.
I love this Pokemon.
A mon that he is actually quite a fan of, and it is Blacephalon. And you will catch the theme of our nicknames as we get through. It will become much more apparent as time goes on. But we got Disco Inferno, the Blacephalon over here. It is a fantastic Pokemon. Absolutely fantastic wall breaker. That 151 special attack stat is disgusting.
And even the 127 physical attack, that is nothing to laugh at.
It's very good for some very niche techs if we need something really crazy to add in.
Right before we start
recording. There's a lot of really, really big, awesome niche techs that we can use with Blacephalon. We have that nasty base 150 power Mind Blown.
Oh my gosh.
Which is going to be absolutely impossible for teams to switch into.
We were talking about you'll probably see as it goes along. Mega Lopunny kinda wrecks our team a little bit. But I was doing some calcs, I'm like, if the Mega Lop isn't Spadef invested and we just run max speed, Choice Scarf, max special attack. I don't even think we need to run max speed. We'll outspeed a Mega Lopunny and OHKO it with Mind Blow. So, it's just a wall breaker. That's all it is. It's a wall breaker, and it's amazing. Yes, it's very frail, so we kind of try to balance that out. But I think I really dig this pick.
Yeah, I've sort of used Blacephalon once before. I toyed around with it in a free draft league that I was in a little while back. And it was all right. It was all right, but with like the broken style of a free draft, like with every team being stupid, like overpowered and busted, it was a really, really difficult thing to work with. So it didn't do me all that well. But in a tiered draft like this, I feel like Blacephalon is very, very slept on. And I feel like it's definitely a solid pick to start building the draft around.
Yeah, and it's just... I'm very rarely build, like, you know, teams. I usually find teams online, use them. But the one... I built an OU team one time, and it was centered around... It was when... Pokemon was doing Mammoth Swine to the top, so I centered around Mammoth Swine, but Blacephalon is a monster. So, I don't know what else we can say about it.
It provides us a ghost type, so it's a spin blocker, normal immunity for the team, which is really, really nice. Provides us a hard-hitting offensive fire type, which starts us building our Fire, Water, Grass core, which we will...
Get to.
We will get to. I think we built a pretty decent one.
It wasn't the best because
we'll get there. It provides us with Beast Boost, which Beast Boost is such a broken ability. You get this thing going, you win.
And also, just win. 107 speed. You'll notice we have really good speed tiers on this team.
Yeah, our speed tiers are pretty solid. I'm really, really liking how this team's looking. So, without further ado, let's get into our next pick. We decided to start kind of building our cores early. We wanted to have those things ready to go. So, the next mon we are going to be scooping up is Tox Apex Predator. Shout out to Jarret for the nickname.
Yeah, I got it.
Creative ass nickname. I love it. Tox Apex Predator, the Tox Apex, as our bulky water type for the team.
Primarily drafted because of Regenerator.
Yeah, Regenerator is a fantastic ability. For those of you who do not know what Regenerator does, it will recover basically a third of your HP just by switching out of the battle, which is awesome. Water Poison typing is great. Gives us a very bulky mon to handle, to kind of deal with a lot of the things that are going to pressure Blacephalon, bulky water types, and stuff like that Blacephalon doesn't want to deal with.
Ground Electric, I think.
Yeah, we too only ground and electric, which we have 2 ground weaknesses right now, which is just kind of meh. We will mitigate that, obviously. But with a ridiculous 152 defense and 142 SpDef stat, this thing is going to eat hits for days. It is ridiculously hard to break through. It has Haze to stop setup. It has Recover to keep itself alive on the field. It can set up Toxic Spike, so it's our first kind of hazard setter on the team. Toxic Spike just gives us just a nice solid wall to start really forming our core around.
And, you know, with how frail Blacephalon is, it's just really good to have something where it's like, you know, we might expect like rock type move, swap into, you know, Toxic Packs, because it's just something that can easily tank most of those hits. I'm not sure if this mon can be O-code, maybe at +6, but like, you know, but is monstrous, and, you know, it's just such a good wall. So we have like a glass cannon right now and a wall on our team.
And I assure you, if we are 100% locked in for playoffs and there's still a week or 2 left, I will bring a Toxic Spikes, Merciless, Toxapex to a match and crit everything in sight. You believe it? I'm telling you right now, we lock in on playoffs, that's coming.
Oh God,
100%. Just fair warning, it's gonna happen.
Run limber. Yeah.
So coming on round 3, this was our big snipe, the big double snipe of the draft. We were looking at Tangrowth to complete the Toxapex Tangrowth core,
which was going to be
a really disgusting regen core. It's really, really hard to break through. And then we were going to also be looking at Garchomp, because Garchomp was still sitting around at this point in the draft, and pretty much almost back to back, within like a few picks of each other.
I think 4 picks before us, Tangrowth went when he was the first tier 3 off the board, and then the pick right before us, Garchomp went. I remember waking up and I like texted Jeff. I'm like, dude, are you serious?
Angry.
I was so mad.
So upset.
Because I wasn't actually all in on the Tangrowth Toxapex core until I'm like, oh my god, this is disgusting. Mm-hmm. And then I just like Garchomp, you know, so fast, hits hard. But
so we kind of had to, we had to rebound a little bit here. So we figured out our replacement grass type, and let me tell you, it's some heat. I'm really looking forward to that one.
Well, you wanted to draft Serena, and I said, hold the phone. Let's just wait on it a little bit, and you'll see it.
Absolutely. It was definitely a much better option than grabbing Serena, in my opinion. I think he saved me from making a poor decision, and I appreciate having him for that. But we decided next to grab our dragon type, and when going for a dragon type in a draft like this, you want to have something that's real decent, real hard hitting, and that mon is going to be dun 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 dun. We have the Shield Hydreigon coming through from Tier 1, being our first free pick. Hydreigon is a motherfucking monster.
He does not have a single bad stat. I didn't even really look at his base stats until now. When 90 is your worst base stat, you're doing something right.
Exactly. 98 speed, obviously it's not breaking that base 100 speed tier, but regardless, it's still going to be worth it.
Things like Haxorus, and like you can run... Hydreigon with a Choice Scarf.
Absolutely. It's a fantastic Scarfer. With 105 and 125 in its offensive stats, it can be run mixed, it can be run physical or special, depending on what you need that week. The 4x weakness to Fairy is obviously a bad thing, but it's mitigated entirely by the fact that we have Toxapex and Blacephalon already, who both resist Fairy-type moves, which is awesome. He is a Levitate user to counteract that ground weakness we've already started to form on the team, so that's awesome as well.
Yeah. Our next two picks really don't help out with that ground weakness. I just realized
it does
that.
not.
Anyway,
no.
But
well, it's fine. We'll make it work. It's fine. I'm not too worried.
Yeah.
We'll just kill all the ground types before any of our ground weaknesses come into the battle. It's fine.
But yeah, so he gets so many really just solid moves.
His coverage pool is great.
Dark Pulse. We can run freaking acrobatics.
Hey. It could work.
You can run,
Aqua Tail,
Defogger. Defogger.
It's also our first Defogger, which is very important. It's our first hazard remover on the team, which is going to be really, really crucial. Gets things like Earth Power / Earthquake, Fire Blasts, Flamethrower / Fire Fang, depending on what you need.
We should also mention that he is one of our Z users, as well as Blacephalon.
Yes, Blacephalon and the Disco Inferno and the Shield are two of our Z users so far, so... I'll explain the Z user now since he brought it up. The way they were running it is you pick 2 Z users of any tier, and then your last Z user has to be a tier 5 mon. So 2 of any tier, and then 1 that is guaranteed to be a tier 5. So it's a really, really cool idea. I love the way that they ran their Z users for this league. I think it's really, really unique.
Yeah, it's really cool because with the tier 5 Z user, we picked our Z user, almost our tier 5 user, basically centered around, all right, cool, we're gonna use this Z move.
Yeah.
And it's a way to get those mons that don't really get much love. Some
extra action, which is really, really cool. But really hyped to have Hydreigon on the team. It's actually, I don't remember if I've used Hydreigon in a draft league before. If I have, please correct me. I can't remember off the top of my head. I've been in way too many. But
people watch your videos.
You're funny. 100+ subscribers. Fuck you.
It's all good.
But no, Hydreigon is fantastic. I'm so excited to use it, and I'm looking forward to the kind of hijinks he's going to cause for our opponents. But with that, we have our Dragon type for our Fairy Dragon Steel Core, and we were looking at the Steel type and the Fairy type we were looking to get at this point, and
we knew we could hold off.
We knew we could hold off on them. And we knew that our Mega could be held off on as well. Our Grass type, we knew we could hold off for a very long time to get. So we knew our cores were pretty safe. So what we wanted to do next is we wanted to grab one of the most important roles, in my opinion, on a draft league team, and that is the fast electric type. A good fast electric is essential on any draft league team, period.
And, our next pick is going to shock the world.
Shock. Bursting through the walls, we got...
Well...
Hold up. Bursting through the walls, we got... The Shockmaster! All capital letters, the Shockmaster.
Alright,
the Jolteon.
Yeah, Jolteon's one of actually my top 10 favorite Pokemon. 130 speed in a really respectable 110 attack. is one of, in my opinion, probably top 5 Volt Switchers in the game, and he's a tier 3. So, that was really hard to pass up on. Just really hard-hitting, pretty decent coverage with stuff like Signal Beam, and I thought he got Ice Beam, but I guess he doesn't. Only HP
He does
Ice.
not. He has this, but he has access to hidden power. He is a heal belt user slash wish passer, which could be very interesting if we can get that to work. So it can be kind of like a pseudo cleric, but it gets things like Shadow Ball as well. That can help us.
Obviously, Thunderbolt.
We have a nice Volt turn core between Shockmaster and the Shield. They can form a really, really solid tag team here. Nice solid 8-man tag in a sense that we can. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Hey, hey, I'm down for that. I'm down for that collaboration. I'm always down for that. But with its Volt Absorb ability as well, providing us an electric immunity on our team, something else that can cover Toxpex's electric weakness outside of Hydreigon so far, which resists it. It is another ground weakness, unfortunately, but I'm not super worried about it. We have, in total on the team, I'll spoil a little bit, we have two ground immunities and a ground resist later on.
Yeah.
So I'm not super duper worried about it. We'll make it work, but it's super fast. It'll be able to do a lot of really good things for our team. And Jolteon's just an overall dope looking Pokemon in the first place.
Yeah,
it's
just a really cool Pokemon. Really good. Like I said, one of my top 10 favorites. And besides Coco, Thundy.
Easily one of it's easily in the top 5 in my opinion. Best fast electric types in the draft format.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
and to snag him, what is this, round 4?
Round 4 it was really, really solid and a really, really solid pickup. And it was our first dip into Tier 3, so that's awesome. Well, our second dip into Tier 3, we gonna wait on that one. That's always, that one's a little bit of heat.
Oh yeah,
I'm always down for a little bit of heat. But with heat, you have metal.
Stop this now.
Fire. Hey, it's a good segue. Fire is super effective on steel. We have metal. Metal is heat. Great. No, I'm kidding. Anyway, for our next pick, we are going to pick up our steel type for our Fairy Dragon Steel Core. We didn't want to take the risk of leaving them behind to
possibly get sniped.
Potentially get sniped because we've already had to deal with the snipe once and it hurt deeply into our souls. So we decided,
especially since this is my first experience with any sort of draft league. So the first time I got sniped, Jeff was like, "Oh, dude, it's whatever." I'm like, "No!" I was like crying.
Oh yeah,
I was so mad.
His first snipe, they grow up so fast.
Yeah,
I love it. But for our steel type, we decided to grab one of the bulkiest ones in the game, and he is known as the Swiss Cyborg Cesaro, the Registeel. Registeel, base 80 HP with 150 in both defense and special defense. This thing is the proper definition of a solid metal wall. Mm-hmm. This thing is fantastic. It is extremely hard to break through. With the right set, it is extremely hard to even attempt to counter this thing. You bring, certain things to beat it, and it can counter those. It does have access to the move counter, which is totally the reason I was using the word counter so many times.
But I mean, it's also a rocker, which is nice. Because I remember our choices here were mainly going to be Registeel. If not, we were going to pick Cobalion, because Cobalion also a rocker and stuff like that. But I also interfered with another one of our picks later on, like type-wise, double up on types. But Registeel is, in my opinion, maybe not the better Pokemon, in my opinion, but the better fit for our team. Yeah. Definitely. It's not going to hit that hard.
No, it's not. But it's not meant to. It's meant to play the supportive role. It's meant to spread status. It's meant to sit around and be fat and bulky. It's meant to stall things out. And it's meant to potentially counter certain mons and knock them out. Which is the whole point. Plus, with his clear body ability, it keeps his stats from being lowered, which is always a nice thing to have. So,
you're telling me we're not going to run light metal?
I mean, we could.
Hey, we're not.
Hey, if I see a team and their one option of countering this thing is running low kick on Amon, you best believe we're bringing in light metal Registeel.
Yeah,
you better believe it. It's going to happen.
That's the same week we're going to bring Limber Toxapex.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. It's going to be on the exact same week because we are savages.
Yeah.
So, now we have our Dragon type and we have our Steel type. So we had to grab our Fairy type, and it was my bad, a little bit of a technological mishap there, but we had to pick up our Fairy type now.
And one thing I was noticing was that we really didn't have many physical attackers on the team.
Yeah, outside of technically the fact that Disco Inferno and the Shield could run physical attacks, and technically Registeel could run physical moves for coverage, but they're not going to be doing a lot of damage.
Yeah, and my suggestion was Mimikyu, but because it was actually still available at this point. But I'm kind of glad we didn't go with Mimikyu because our
other tier 2 pick is really, really solid. I'm really happy with it. Yeah. So we decided to go with another tier 4, a Fairy type out of tier 4.
I think we were some of the first people that dropped down to those tier 4.
Yeah, we dropped down to tier 4 pretty early.
I think we were one of the first people to pick up a tier 5 in 2 picks from now.
Yeah, 2 picks from now we pick up a tier 5. But for this pick, we picked up our nice good buddy, Mr. Sexual Chocolate himself. We picked up Mark Henry, the Slurpuff.
Oh, I love Slurpuff.
Slurpuff is cool, and yes, I know we specified physical attacker, and it is a physical attacker due to the fact that it is a belly drum sweeper. This thing can sweep on both sides. Belly drum for physical, Calm Mind for special if you want to be that guy. And yes, I will do it. It's a guarantee. It's actually a very good set. Jarret, just trust me. I've done it before.
Okay.
It's good. Slurpuff is a very, very solid Pokemon.
But Unburden is
such
a good
stellar ability. Its other ability, I don't even know what it does. Sweet Veil. But this Pokemon and its allies cannot fall asleep.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Nice. That could work. Okay. I would have thought maybe it could work if someone drafted Xurkitree, but Xurkitree didn't go for Z-Hypnosis, but...
Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, nobody drafted either Amoonguss. I don't think Amoonguss got drafted.
Amoonguss 100% got drafted, yeah.
And,
because I remember actually saying maybe pick up Amoonguss, but no, yeah, Amoonguss got drafted.
But they definitely didn't. They didn't draft Breloom. That was one of the ones you mentioned.
Yes, Breloom
that didn't get drafted.
Yeah.
So the majority of Spore users are not around, and I don't want to switch in a Slurpuff onto an Amoonguss because even though Amoonguss ain't that strong, Slurpuff does not want to take a Sludge Bomb for free.
Yeah,
he's not taking a Sludge Bomb for free at all. He doesn't want to, so we're not going to do that. But what we do have going for him is that Unburdened ability, which is going to double his speed if he loses his item. So literally, we just need to pack a berry of some kind or anything of the sort that could be very useful.
Does he get 50% berries or just citrus?
I mean, you can use the 50% berries. It's just not as effective because he doesn't have gluttony or something, so he can only get 50%. But regardless, it could sub belly drum into Ipapa or something.
Yeah, exactly.
That could be something we can do. But this thing has Belly Drum and Calm Mind setup. It can Cotton Guard as well. It has a lot of setup potential. Solid coverage in things like Drain Punch and
Energy Ball,
having access to Return. Energy Ball and Flamethrower for the special sets.
Play Rough,
obviously, for Stab. And the big thing, not only the fact that it's a Cleric with Wish and Heat, with Wish and Aromatherapy and Heal Bell and whatnot. The biggest thing I wanted to grab, that I valued Slurpuff higher, is because in Ultra Sun and Moon, they gave Slurpuff access to Sticky Web. Because apparently, just because he's made of cotton candy, which is somewhat of a sticky substance, apparently he can spin out sticky spider webs.
That's kind of... alright.
It's a stretch game, freak, but you know what? For this instance, I'm not going to give you too much shit for it. Good on you.
Well, yeah,
good on you.
Because I remember going back to our Jolteon pick, I was like, oh, well, maybe, sacrifice a little bit of speed to go with Galvantula, and you're like, dude, no. Slurpuff, when we pick, because we had this plan out a little bit, he's like, he gets sticky webs. I'm like, are you serious? He's like, yeah.
Yeah, it's a stretch, but you know what? Sticky webs could be very, very good in our team, and now, look back at what we have so far, and imagine that plus the sticky webs. Imagine a Blacephalon that could potentially run Modest on the week that we run sticky webs. Imagine a Modest Hydreigon that week. Imagine a Modest Jolteon that week. imagine the extra damage output we can potentially have by bringing the sticky webs and playing them properly.
Sticky webs is... So I do a lot of like Battle Factory, random battles, stuff like that, and sticky webs is the most annoying move anyone can ever do if you don't have defog or anything. But it's all good though. It's all good.
It's all good. So now that we have our Fairy Dragon Steel Core figured out, we debated at this point. We debated at this point whether we were going to go for our Grass type next, or if we were going to grab our Mega. So we thought that our Grass type could sit for at least one more round. We're going to be picking it up after this, so that long-awaited suspense of figuring out what our Grass type's going to be, trust me, we'll take care of that real soon. But the suspense is over for what our Mega's going to be. And it was a Mega that Jarret 100% wanted to do from the very beginning.
Like, literally, I told him, like, second round, I'm like, dude, please draft this Mega. I also threw in something that I would do to Jeff, but let's not talk about that. PG channel, maybe. I'm not sure.
Not PG, but I'm trying to keep it PG.
Yeah.
Because it is affiliated with aDrive, who runs a PG channel. So I'm trying to keep this PG. I feel like I've done pretty well so far. I don't think I've swore way
regardless,
too much.
Yeah.
If I did swear at all, I apologize. But I'm trying not to swear too much during the series because it is aDrive, it is related to aDrive. So for this league only, if you want PG content, click on my aDrive Army Battle League matches, because you will not hear a swear out of my mouth. Yeah. I swear I'm going to screw this up more times than I can count. Yes. But I'm going to try my best. Anyways.
But like I love this Pokemon. I love its regular form and I love its Mega form. It is
the greatest man that ever lived. Austin Aries, the Mega Gallade.
I love Mega Gallade. Love him.
I literally named him A because he has a cape.
Yeah.
That is the entire reason he is named this, because he has a cape. And if you see Austin Aries walking to the ring without a cape, or nowadays without some promotions heavyweight title belt,
exactly,
you are in some different alternate dimension, because Austin Aries doesn't go anywhere without either winning their world championship or wearing a cape. One or the other. Yeah. Because he didn't win anything in the WWE because they didn't know how to use him right. Shoutouts to you, Hunter. Shoutouts to you, Vince. You stupid bastards. Anyways.
PG. Anyway.
Son of a monkey's uncle. I screwed it up already. Anyway. Maybe I'll bleep that out. I'll bleep that up, potentially.
Anyway, yeah. But, like, one of my favorite game modes on Showdown is mono fighting, and this is always on my team. Or mono type, and I like running mono fighting, or even if I run mono psychic, like, this is on my team because it's just a hard heavy hitter. You get sword stands up. There's not many things that could live one, and there are the things that can live one. They're not living two hits from this guy.
Exactly. That blistering 165 attack stat is nothing to shake a stick at. And in my opinion, this is the better of the Ralts Evolution Megas because of the simple fact that Mega Gardevoir, if you really think about it stat-wise, I'll pull it up a little bit off screen, not gonna, step on his toes too much, but Mega Gardevoir does not have the natural bulk that Mega Gallade does indeed have. Yes, Gallade has that 68 HP stat of it has, but in Gardevoir's case, it has that same HP stat, but a very weak defense stat of 65, which really, really hurts it in the long run. Gallade, however, has a 95 defense stat, along with a 115 SPDF stat.
You trade what? Special attack for defense?
Yeah, we trade all of our special attacks.
You're not running a special... No, stop it.
I mean, what, doesn't he get Vacuum Wave? He's got to get Vacuum Wave. Does he get Vacuum Wave? About to find out if he gets Vacuum Wave. If he gets Vacuum Wave, we're bringing a special Gallade.
Also, like...
He gets Vacuum Wave, we're bringing a special Gallade. We win.
Even, like, what's this ability again? It gets Steadfast, Inner Focus, I think?
The regular abilities are Steadfast, but it does get Inner Focus, so no flinching.
I think it's a good move. There's a Jirachi in this league, so...
I am 100% bringing this Mega Gallade. I am 100% making sure that I can beat the crap out of that Jirachi. I hate Jirachi so much. It is my least favorite Pokemon to watch in League format / face in League format.
I love you.
Shut up, you're scum. You're absolutely scum for enjoying using Jirachi.
Of a tournament with it was a UUBL tournament using almost fully scarf Jirachi. So yeah,
disgusting.
But what kind of coverage is this? I know he gets like Night Slash.
Obviously close combat. He gets obvious drain punch.
Fire
punch
too.
The elemental punches. He gets access to knockoff. Obviously,
Leaf
Blade.
Night Slash,
Leaf Blade's gonna be dope.
He does get Night Slash.
He does get Night Slash. He gets Poison Jab.
Yeah, and also he
Rock
gets,
Slide. Shadow Sneak for priority, which is awesome.
Oh, there's Signal
Stone
Beam.
Edge.
But yeah, Swords Dance too is.
It also gets Will-O-Wisp. Yo, Will-O-Wisp Gallade.
Maybe. But no, like Swords Dance is a great move to run. Just just double that already 165 attack. Just
punch hole through literally whatever you want. If you want a hole punch through it, just click SD on a Mega Gallade, and then all of a sudden there's a hole through it, whatever's in front of you.
We already have a special wall breaker, and this is now going to be our physical wall breaker.
Exactly. So I'm really excited to use Mega Gallade. I have actually 100% guarantee you never used this in a draft league, and I probably have almost never used it in competitive ever. So this is really, really exciting. I think I may have used it like once on like a team, just messing around with friends when ORAS first came out, and I was just like, screw it. I'll get a Mega Gallade and use it on this team, or I'll use it in a free-for-all or something. Yeah, but other than that, I've never really touched Mega Gallade, so I'm really excited to see what I can do with it.
It's one of those things where it's like, I told Jeff that I really like Mega Gallade. All the other Megas, like, I mean, they had a lot of Tier 1 Megas in this draft. So, like, I think that, like, even ones that didn't go were, like, like Heracross and stuff like that didn't go. And, like, I think that this is one of the most slept-on Megas there are. And, not 4th overall in the NPA. I think that's
There are 23.
Yeah.
23 Tier 1 Megas in this league. Versus, like, 5 in Tier 2, 6 in Tier 3, and I think, like, 2 in Tier 4? Yeah.
Well, we were thinking about going, lower tier, but, I'm not
drafting Mega Camera. I'm not drafting Mega Camera just so that I have the extra points to draft 15 in round 11. Shoutouts to you, Chimpact.
But, yeah,
Jeopardy's coming soon, by the way.
So, yeah.
Actually, I think he just uploaded an episode of Jeopardy earlier today. Lit.
Anyway, but, so, yeah. Good value at this late in the draft, and a good typing too, in my opinion.
Yeah, Psychic Fighting is a fantastic typing. It does handle its weaknesses very, very well. The fighting typing makes it neutral to the dark typing, as well as
but I mean,
I believe actually fighting does resist bug. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Maybe, what is it weak to? It's weak to ghost. It's weak to flying, what the typical fighting type weakness is. But yeah, so it's just a great mod to punch holes through things.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
Now
here
comes that brass type. With what Jarret has said is one of the best nicknames on our whole fucking team.
Yes.
And he appreciates it so much that I came up with it because I'm a huge wrestling fan. We're both huge wrestling fans.
Wrestling fan.
And I'm deeply into watching New Japan stuff now. Obviously, I've gotten really into watching stuff from New Japan. I had a subscription to New Japan World when my grandmother bought me the subscription for Wrestle Kingdom. I've been following everything as hardcore as I could. He's probably one of the most over baby faces in the entirety of the promotion right now. He's
one of the top baby faces, one of the most over baby faces in the world.
Exactly, by far. He was once known as the Eco Warrior, CJ Parker, in NXT, which was a stupid gimmick, WWE, and you wasted this potential. The white man himself, the Dreadhead King, Juice freaking Robinson. Juice Robinson the Tangela. Let's go. Finishing out that Firewater Grass core like a champion with Tangela.
So, way back when we got sniped on Tangrowth, we were talking about, oh man, that would have been nice to have a regen core. I'm like, what about Amoonguss? And you're like, oh no, that's just an extra, with Toxapex already being weak to Psychic, that's just an extra Psychic weakness. So you were talking about, maybe drafting Serena. I'm just like looking through like bulky grass types that get regen. I'm like, hold the phone. Eviolite Tangela is a monster, and you're like, you know what? I want to go with it, so we held off.
A fun little calc that I want to bring up, and I hope this is actually right, so that I don't look really stupid when I mention this. A bold max defense Eviolite Tangela can live a Jolly Choice Scarf Sheer Force Darmanitan Flare Blitz even after rocks. It does 70 to 83%. What grass types do you know that can live a Flare Blitz from a Darmanitan from full or after rocks? I'll wait. Please provide me. Besides Mega Venusaur, because I know people are going to say Mega Venusaur, and that's fine.
Fair
he has
point.
thick fat.
Yeah.
He has thick fat. Okay, fair. But let me tell you something. The fact that this little beast
lives at
Tangrowth does not. Tangrowth definitely does not. Tangrowth does not. Tangrowth definitely dies to this thing 100%. Oh, barely. Barely doesn't. And it does 82 to 97. So Tangela takes it better than its evolved form because of that Eviolite and that ridiculous 115 defense stat. Who said Tangela could be that chunky? Who said Tangela could be this fat? Nobody gave him permission.
All I'm just saying is Tangela's thick.
He's a thick boy with 5 C's.
Thick little
5.
ball of noodles.
Thick little ball of dreads.
But yeah, so Tangela.
Add in, mind you, he has base 100 special attack.
So the boy can hit a little bit.
So not only is he taking a hit, but he's gonna hit you back. He's got things like obviously Giga Drain. He's gonna be running hidden powers. He's gonna run knockoff more than likely to get rid of items and screw people over because
just
that's
so
always
he can
fun.
live a hit, knock off an item,
which is always great. Sludge Bomb for coverage. He's a really good Stallymon to run things like potentially Synthesis, Leech Seed, Toxic. We're going to run Swords Dance Tangela too.
Yes.
Without a doubt. Swords Dance Tangela with Seed Bomb.
That's what, 45 attack?
No, Swords Dance Power Whip with that base 55 attack stat.
Yeah.
We're gonna really sweep teams with that too. Potentially with a Chlorophyll build to run like Sunny Day on something with a Heat Rock.
Talking about potentially running.
I'm serious. I'm still serious about running a Chlorophyll Tangela one of these weeks and just throwing someone really off guard and sweeping someone. It's got base 100 special attack. I don't know what you mean that this is a bad idea.
Yeah,
I think it's a great idea.
I've never said it's a bad idea.
It's a fantastic idea.
Yeah. But yeah, Tangela with Eviolite is bulkier than Tangrowth. Yeah, it doesn't hit as hard on the physical side and it hits a little less hard on the special side, but it's also faster than Tangrowth, so I think there's a fine trade-off.
Very, very solid trade-off, and gives us still a very, very powerful regen core to work with between Tangela and Toxapex.
Like
They're going to probably come majority of weeks, which is really, really cool.
Like I said, I think we were the first to drop down to tier 5, and because I actually didn't get to see the draft. I just kept looking at the fan doc because only the actual coaches are allowing the draft, but I was like, did anyone say anything about Tangela? Because something tells me people are going to be like, is this serious or something? And my response to that would be absolutely, this is 100% serious because he's so good.
Yes, absolutely. Now, you see that he is our first Tier 5 mon. Now, we are not making Tangela our Tier 5 Z user. We have another Tier 5 mon for that.
Which we picked next.
Which we did pick next. We decided that this was too high of a value pick to put off any longer. So, without further ado, I would like to introduce you one of the greatest stars in all of Hollywood, and the most electrifying crab in sports entertainment, Dwayne Johnson, the Crustle, as our Tier 5 Z user. Now, I have played many a draft league.
3 words. Z-Rock record.
Yes. I've played many a draft league, and I've played many a Suicune. I've used many a Suicune.
I hate Suicune.
I have never seen a Suicune's HP drop as fast as when I took on somebody who had a Z-Rock, a Shell Smash up with a Crustle and went for Z-Rock Wrecker. It O-code my Suicune.
Yeah.
From full I was terrified. It is a terrifying Pokemon to deal with.
Like Russell.
Yeah. Thankfully he went for the Rock Wrecker, obviously, on the following turn to Oko, whatever else I brought out, because let's be real, it's a Crustle and it's going to kill whatever's in front of it after it gets to that +2. But it killed whatever was in front of it, and
just so happened to be a stupidly bulky, type that, or Pokemon that should not have died to a Crustle.
No.
But did.
Very much so did. It died very, very quickly. And it was very, very painful to watch. But this thing is a nuke once it gets a Shell Smash up. It is a fantastic Z-Crystal user. With Sturdy, it has a very, very free chance to set up most times. If I want to be that guy and I know I can take a hit from whatever I'm in front of, I can also run Weak Armor. And that could be really cool. So I can maybe get, drop my defense 1 stage, but get that nice +2 in my speed added on there. Or Shell Armor to avoid being crit by certain things, which would be also dope. But it provides us an awesome Shell Smash Sweeper, which is super duper fun. Gets access to Knockoff, another great knockoff user for our team.
What was it? Base 110 physical attack. That's
105 physical attack and 125 defense is nothing to sleep on. Base 70 HP, of course, as well. With that nice 75 SPDF. But hey, 75 SPDF, I've seen things with 75 SPDF live things that they shouldn't. So that's really awesome. We have Night Slash, Poison Jab, obviously Rock Slide, Rock Blast, things like Rock Wrecker, of course.
Yeah.
And what's also important about Crustle is it provides us not only another Stealth Rocker, so that it takes the pressure off of Cesaro, but it provides us a Spike user. A mon that can set us spikes for us for our team. So we have access to Toxic Spikes, Stealth Rocks, and Sticky Web. We have all the major hazards on our team at this point, which is phenomenal. That makes me very, very happy, and I am really, really excited to have Crustle on the team. It is super duper fun to use. I've used it plenty of times. I've swept people plenty of times with Crustle. It is a really, really scary mon to deal with. And so, really, really hyped to toy around with this beast.
Yeah, it works just really well with our team. One thing it does seem, and it will seem with a couple of these next picks too, a bit of a water weakness, but we have Jolteon, we have Toxapex.
Yeah, Jolteon can kill all the water types that we're going to be fearing. Toxapex can wall them. The Shield can wall them.
I mean, how many of our things...
Juice Robinson can absolutely annihilate them because Juice Robinson is an actual god amongst men.
Yes.
But
yeah, so,
it's fine.
Yeah,
we'll make it do with what we have, for sure. Now, the next pick we scooped up, I wanted to have another defogger on the team.
A little bit of a snipe here, a little bit, but we were okay with our...
Yeah, we were... At this point in the draft, we had...
We had the rest planned out.
We had only one pick out of the next 3 that was a snipe that we had to, kind of scramble a little bit to kind of find a replacement for.
Because we had at least 2...
Because we had 2 options apiece for each of them. At this point, I wanted to grab a flying type for the team.
Yes. Because
it gave us another ground immunity... So another way to handle ground types against us, which is always nice to have. And bird spam is a very, very solid strategy. And we were looking at what was left in Tier 3, because we do still have that Tier 3 pick sitting there, just chilling. We were looking at Tier 3, and for some reason, Tornadus Incarnate was actually still sitting around. And I was like, another Defogger, Prankster Defog, so that's awesome. It can be physical or special. It hits really hard on both sides. Mm-hmm. It's a really, really solid Pokemon. And then it got picked up.
About 4 picks before us. So.
Yeah. So...
whatever. I mean, I still like our pick anyways.
Yeah, it's fine. We were able to pick up, instead, a very, very solid flying type.
Hits like a
very, very fast. Hits really, really hard. Has defog. And also can act as a stealth rocker as well. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hit that gong and say hello to the Undertaker, the Aerodactyl. Shout out to Jarret's brother.
Yes, Dylan.
Dylan. Yeah, I don't know why I was forgetting his name for a minute. I feel really horrible. I feel horrid.
He's not gonna watch this anyway.
I know he won't watch this.
I'm just kidding.
Wow. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm a hateable person.
He just doesn't like Pokemon.
I understand entirely.
Yeah. No,
so Aerodactyl provides us another Mon sitting up at base 130. So speed tying with Jolteon, which is really, really cool. It's also really cool that I don't think anything was drafted that's actually faster than Jolteon or, Excelgor. But besides that,
Besides
almost nothing was drafted that's actually faster than those two mons. Well, Tapu Koko as well, which speed ties with them.
Oh,
so nothing was drafted that's faster besides Excelgor. So we have the two fastest Pokemon in the entirety of the league on our team. Two of the fastest Pokemon in the whole league on our team, which is super awesome.
Yeah.
Because I like having fast mons that can do a lot of things.
Jolteon's pretty much like, Volt Switch, hits with Thunderbolt, some coverage moves, but like Arrow can really do a lot of other moves. We almost even thought about using him as our other Z mover just because of coverage. Aqua Tail. Does he get all the fangs?
Crunch, he gets a Fire Fang. We got an Ice Fang. We got a Thunder Fang. Of course, they don't put it in the most used moves, but we do, in fact, have a Thunder Fang. There it is. He also a Z Twister. Z Twister would have been really fun.
Z Twister? No.
Yeah, no. Why not? Why not, bro? Z Sky Attack?
I mean, yeah. Absolutely Z Sky Attack.
I mean, for right now, we have our Z user set, but we're toying with things.
We're like fantasy booking.
Yeah, we're fantasy booking.
But yeah, I mean,
but it has access to a lot of things. It's another stealth rock.
Mon that can take on Mega Lopunny.
Yep, it's another stealth rocker, which is always really nice to have. It has access to Tailwind, which is a really, really fun strat we can use if we deem it necessary. It's very good for support, while also being a solidly offensive threat. It can Pursuit Trap if in the right situation.
Home Claws.
Home Claws for setting up.
Home Claws
plus Stone Edge, so I can actually hit my moves and not miss moves that are very important to win matches.
I should make the clicks.
Yeah,
because you miss, I don't. That one time when we were. When we were just before class, and I was going to get swept by a Mega Gengar, and I'm like, I'm going to freeze him. You're like, no, you're not, and I froze him, and I swept him. So, yeah, I have weird luck at this game.
For those who know, I'm trying to keep this PG right now, even though I've messed up at least once. I'm performing a very obscene gesture towards Jarret at this current time. Just for the simple fact that he's such a man filled with so much hacks and pain and misery, and
I think the one time I actually beat you was simply because of hacks. I think I flinch hacked you.
Yes, you did.
Or something.
Yes, you did.
That.
I had the W in hand, and then I got flinched twice, and then he wins.
Yeah.
And I'm like, boy.
But anyway, yeah.
Unnerve is a great ability.
Yes. Yeah, let's get back to Aerodactyl.
Get those damage reducing berries out of here. Get those citrus berries out of here. Get those 50% berries out of here. None of that nonsense. Rockhead is cool for moves that potentially have recoil. I'm trying to find the moves that he has that have recoil. Double Edge.
Yeah, I mean, could work.
Double Edge, and there's some Double Edge. A little bit of Double Edge. What? Might be some Double Edge.
What's that other move? I honestly forget the move's name. Head Smash? Doesn't get Head Smash. I'm almost positive he doesn't get Head Smash.
That is one of the things that I love about watching people like Hoodlum Scrafty and Duncan Knee Deep, because they right certain wrongs in the Pokemon community when they do their Hackmons content. I'm not one of those people that cares about if you gen or hack things. I don't give a damn. Sorry. I don't give a crap. If you're having fun playing Pokemon, do it. I don't care how you do it. Just have fun.
Exactly.
It's a video game. Have fun. So when they give a Rockhead Pokemon like Aerodactyl something like Head Smash or Brave Bird, which it should get, Game Freak, get a Brave Bird move tutor or a Head Smash move tutor and give it to Aerodactyl now. Please. So I can use it in the league. Please. Thank you.
Please, yeah.
Anyway, no, Rockhead won't be used probably at all. But Pressure is also really good. I have Pressure stalled people in the past with a certain Pokemon. Granted, it was a Deoxys defense, but that's not the point.
I Pressure stalled this weekend before.
It's doable, and it could be very useful for Aerodactyl here if it resists certain moves that have very low PP. We can just bring it in here, roost off damage, and just kind of stall them out. So it's a good option. And with its speed and overall solid stats across the board that can be used in various different ways, I think Aerodactyl will be a very solid fit for our squad.
Like you said, wasn't our first pick, but really happy with it.
Yeah, it does give us a little bit of type overlap with the rock typing, but I'm not super duper worried about it. We can
Crustle is going to be niche. I can see Arrow coming to a lot of games.
I can see Arrow coming a lot more often than our boy Crustle over there. But regardless, I think it's a really, really cool Pokemon and will do some good work for our squad. Now, obviously, by now you've probably picked up the theme that we are naming our Mons after either nicknames of wrestlers or wrestlers themselves. Well, that nickname scheme is kind of broken a little bit here, but not entirely. So, to preface this, we were going to draft Stone Cold the Cryogonal. So we can have Stone Cold, The Rock, and The Undertaker all on the same team, and making the absolute dream team of all wrestling history.
Rest in peace, Stone Cold.
Unfortunately, we were sniped for Cryogonal. Now, the reason we had Cryogonal was not because it was an ice type, although it was convenient that it had ice typing. We would have had all typings covered on the team. All 18 typings that I'm actually going over in my head, making sure that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 if we had gotten torn, 16, 17, 18. Yeah, we would have had all the 18 typings covered. But unfortunately, we were sniped on that, so we were not able to scoop that up, unfortunately. But we did grab another Tier 4. It was a Tier 4 Rapid Spinner. And in my opinion, it's a really, really solid one. And we named this one after a move, a specific move, that has been made famous by people of the names of Hideo Itami and CM Punk. And that is our good friend who constantly in a state of getting hit by this move, GTS the Komala. Not GTS as in Global Trade Station. We're not trying to make Pokemon references here. We are making wrestling references. Guys, keep it together. Wrestling references only. GTS the Komala. He has been hit by way too many knees in the face, and now he's in a constant comatose state with that comatose ability, making it so he cannot be statused. Which is very, very awesome. He's always considered to be asleep.
Yeah, I like Kamala. Super cute design. Always have.
Adorable. I want to hug him.
But, I wasn't the biggest fan of this at first, but it's, there's a lot of these picks that Jeff was like, hey, listen. Because, even back when we were talking about, our first, couple picks with, Toxapex, I'm like, Toxapex. But then you're like, dude, just listen. He's a great Pokemon. It just starts growing on me. And, Kamala
I had to talk him into a couple.
Kamala has some solid coverage. You know, Woodhammer, Earthquake, Brick Break.
Woodhammer, Earthquake, which, mind you, the King Nappy makes this argument all the time, and I'm going to make it right now as well. How does this cute little koala Pokemon have Earthquake, but Entei doesn't? That is the meme of 2018. I'm going to keep it going. Why does this Pokemon have Earthquake and Entei doesn't?
Entei roars and moves mountains.
Makes volcanoes explode by just barking. But he can't shake the ground with an Earthquake? Yeah. I don't think so. But anyway, it has a lot of fantastic coverage. It's another knockoff user, which is fantastic. Now we have Kamala, which can knock off. We have Crustle, Tangela, Gallade, and Blacephalon, which can knock off as well.
But our main reason for picking this up was so we have a spinner.
Yeah. Well, yes, they did give Defog to a metric ton of Pokemon in Ultra Sun and Moon with the Defog move tutor.
Don't want to give anything Defiant, though.
There is still the potential for Defiant users. There's still the potential for competitive Milotic to be a thing. And you don't want to just have only Defoggers on a team, because then an opponent can just take advantage of that, start hazard stacking you, force you to go for that defog, then give them those free boosts that can just sweep your team.
I mean, that's what I was, because this is a big learning experience for me. I'm like, well, what's the benefits? Why even care about Rapid Spin? And you, I almost called it Rabbit Spin, but there's a lot of other.
Don't give them spoilers. Rapid Spin. You bastard.
Anyway, there's a lot of other mods we could have used, but I'm like, no, this works really well. Ghost Immunity and his hard. I like Kamala.
It's a Wish Passer as well. We can switch into mons that we know are going to more than likely go for statusing moves on those turns. We can switch into those pretty nicely. It has a very good 115 attack stat to hit hard, but plus with its 65 HP, 65 defense, and 95 SPDF, it actually can take hits pretty decently well, and a really fun set that will more than likely be brought. You guys saw it in my Week 4 PFL battle. I believe it was Week 4. No, it was Week 3 against the Eternity Entes, where we brought Choice Banded, Sleep Talk, Last Resort, Kamala.
Yeah.
Because,
I think I
fun fact, Sleep Talk, because he's comatose, will work on Kamala every single turn. You can spam Sleep Talk with Kamala, and whatever move you have backup, you're guaranteed to fire it off. Which actually is a very interesting set, because like you can just fire random coverage moves off as well. Just Choice Banded random coverage moves, and it's really dope. But Choice Banded Stab Last Resort from Kamala does so much damage. I forget what the Mon was that I was facing off against. Let me pull it up and see if he actually still has it on his draft, or if he dropped it. He did drop it. What Mon was that I was taking on? This is very important. This is very important to me, that this information
now you actually, you're like, listen, if they have this Mon...
I can't remember which person who took over, because the guy dropped from the league not too long afterwards. Funnily enough,
yeah.
I last resorted him out of the league, which is really funny. Yes, they did drop Cresselia, but Cresselia, which everyone knows is ridiculously fat, this thing did like 70%.
Jeez.
With that Choice Banded Last Resort. It was just adamant, max attack, Choice Banded, Last Resort coming from Kamala, did 70% to Cresselia. Broke through his Rest, Sleep Talk Cresselia like it was nothing. Like it was paper. Tore through it and started tearing through the remainder of his team. He had nothing at that point that could take a hit, and all I was doing was clicking Choice Banded, Sleep Talk, Last Resort, and OHKOing things. Because Kamala is that good of a Pokemon. Absolutely love it. Completely fantastic spinner, and I'm sure it's going to put in a lot of work for us. Yep. So, plus it's a normal type, so Ghost Immunity, yay! That's always fun. Now,
so what we had just enough points for one more tier 2, right?
Yes, we had just enough points at this point for one more tier 2 pick. The nice standard, when you get a tier 1 mega, you get one tier 1, one tier 2, a tier 4, and a tier 5 for your free picks. We already have our tier 5, we already have our tier 4 free pick taken care of, out of the way. At this point, the only real thing, the only role we had left to fill in the team was a ground type. A ground type so that we could have an electric immunity, besides Jolteon, of course. And there were 2 ground types we were toying around with in tier 2. Mind you, we'll see how this one works out. It's entirely a coin flip. We were at coin flip time. This one we went with because it has more natural bulk. And we needed to get one really good classic WWF reference in here, because obviously we have the classic WCW reference with Disco Inferno, which is such a dope nickname, by the way. Thank you to me for that nickname. Don't want to toot my own horn, but
could have been Doink the Clown.
No Doink. No.
Anyway, but regardless, yeah.
Regardless, we drafted King Kong Bunny, the Diggersby. Diggersby, though. Diggersby is real cool. Now, granted, its attack stat might not look pretty. Base 56 attack, that ain't looking too pretty. However, it has that oh-so-beautiful ability that makes Azumarill one of the most hated Pokemon to go up against in Draft League or any format. And that is Huge Power, which will double its attack stat to basically being an absolute monster. Huge Power Diggersby is absolutely obscene in its damage output, hitting a max attack stat of like 211 overall when it maxes out if you're running a Jolly Nature, which basically means you're having an attack stat of like 422, which is higher than a lot of really, really strong Pokemon. So this thing is still a massive threat with that Huge Power ability. We're not going to use any of its other abilities at all. The entirety of the season, we're not using Pickup. Maybe we'll run Cheek Pouch if we're really, really feeling cheeky that week. I hate myself.
Can we hack and run away?
That'd be hilarious.
Anyway.
You're funny. But it gets access to set up moves like Bulk Up and Agility, which are really, really fun.
Agility, like this thing could sweep.
Yeah. With 78 speed, with getting agility up, this thing can easily sweep a team.
Yeah, outspeeds most
mons at that point. Obviously, Earthquake for stab, the Elemental Punches, which is really, really great. Does it actually get Ice Punch? It does. Does it get Thunder Punch?
It gets sub, right?
Does it get sub? It does, in fact, get substitute.
Okay, yeah, so we can sub Focus Punch.
Super Fang to break down potential walls that are trying to switch into us. It is another option that has knockoff, which is cool. We have a lot of U-turn going on our team. This mon also having U-turn.
Yeah, what a bad thing to have.
We have U-turn on this. Kamala, I believe, as well as Hydreigon as well also gets U-turn, as well as Volt Switch on Jolteon. So we have a lot of Volt turn going on with our team.
Keep up some good momentum,
which is really awesome. And another cool thing about Diggersby, which some people might forget, is Diggersby also has access to spikes, which, to be completely honest, I didn't even know that Diggersby had spikes until I was like really looking into it, and I was like, wait a minute. I remember seeing somewhere that like this thing had some kind of hazard coverage, and then I looked it up, and I was like, wait, Diggersby gets spikes? Diggersby though?
Yeah.
I'm really, really hyped about Diggersby. The other option we were potentially going to draft was Doug Trio, so we could have like the really cool speed tier of having 130, 120, 110 right down the board, which would have been really cool. But for right now, it was just too frail for our team at this point. At least this thing has some nice natural bulk,
huge power. Too.
If for some reason like Diggersby's just not fitting into the team, then we could potentially look into picking up Doug Trio in free agency and using its arena trapping potential to
it's still available,
really mess people up. But for right now, we have Diggersby, and I'm really looking forward to using it. I have not used Diggersby much at all. This thing is just a monster. This thing is an absolute monster, and people have trouble switching into Diggersby. It's just a thing. It's not a mon that people switch into very easily.
Yeah, exactly.
So, with that, ladies and gentlemen, we have completed our wrestling stable. We have fully assembled the greatest group of professional wrestling icons into one solid stable to take over the Pokemon and wrestling communities all by itself. This amazing squad here chilling out in the ring with our Paniola Primarina's logo, of course. We are the squad. We are the new Bullet Club. We are the new LIJ. We are the new Chaos.
NWO.
We are the new NWO. We have the Shield. We are the new D-Generation X. We are the greatest wrestling stable of all time. Period.
Yeah, but for real, this at first, because I was looking at some of the other teams, I'm like, they have all the flashy mons and stuff like that. And I'm like, no. This team's really solid, top to bottom. I don't see a bad Pokemon in this team. And, it's just really, really solid Pokemon with great speed tiers and, just good mix of physical special attackers. I think this team can do some work.
As do I, my good friend. I think this is going to be a very, very solid squad to work with. It's going to be very, very fun to build with this. It's going to be very fun to toy around with all these mons. I'm really, really excited to see how things go. They have not posted the conferences or anything yet, so I'm not sure exactly who our first opponent's going to be just yet. But once that is taken care of, I will keep you guys in the know-how. So until then, Jarret, thank you for joining me for this draft analysis. I will try to get you back here as often as I can for the team builders, and try to get you in on as much as we can. He's going to be helping me build these teams so we can conquer the aDrive Army Battle League and hopefully win out and get some aDrive notification, get that nice clout in the Pokemon community, because clout is everything. Because if we get clout from aDrive, maybe they'll invite us to join the GBA. Hey! But regardless, this is going to be a lot of fun, and I'm really excited to share this with one of my best friends.
Yeah.
So thank you all for watching. If you guys have enjoyed, make sure to hit that like button down below and subscribe if you have not already. And if you actually have stuck by with us for this entire 1 hour and 3 or 4 minute long draft analysis, please do leave something funny in the comment section below. That would be greatly appreciated and be totally cool. But I'm going to get out of here. Jarret, you say goodbye.
Alright, see you guys. This is going to be a fun league.
Yep, absolutely. And until next time, I'm PokePrimer, signing off. Peace.